What up everybody? Today I am exceptionally proud to release this project that we've been working on for quite a while. Welcome to the Wallbang Hub. This is a map that I had made in order for you and me to practice some sick wallbangs. Since the start of playing any kind of Counter-Strikes, I have absolutely loved wallbangs. Some of the sickest moments require sometimes teamwork, but primarily memory, a good bit of timing, and luck. And it's those three ingredients mixed together that, in my opinion, make wallbangs so good. When you get hit by one of these wallbangs and you just weren't expecting it, it's such a WTF moment. And if anything, it super demoralizes you as well. Like, how did that just happen? So this map is meant to help you get consistent on those WTF moments. So far, we have about 130 different wallbang spots, and we're covering a whole bunch of competitive maps. The link will be down below in the description, so if you're interested in checking it out, click that and then hit the subscribe button. There's currently a little bit of an issue with bots upvoting their own scammy maps and downvoting the legit maps. So if you guys could upvote the map, that would be highly appreciated. When you launch CS and go into workshop maps, you should be able to see the map. So let's check it out. Upon loading the map, here we are. We're in the little lobby. Ignore this bad boy. And in order to pick a map that you want to learn some wallbangs on, go forwards or backwards, whatever is your taste, and then choose the map. The map will then load into that map, but it won't be the normal version of that map. It will have to do the loading lineups thing. You see that down the bottom of your screen. Won't take very long, and after that's completed, you can choose a lineup by looking at a button and pressing use. So let's do this first one, which is right up here in spawn. Now we look at it, we press E, and then boom, here we are. We're put into the spot. This is actually a special wallbang spot because it requires a boost. We've incorporated at least one special wallbang spot in every single map. So you get this little dialogue up the side, which helps you out. Means you can restart the lineup, skip to the next lineup, go back to the previous lineup, and you can also toggle the helper. So at first, I would advise people keeping the helper on, but you don't have to move whatsoever because it's already put you in the exact right position. Then you can see exactly where you need to aim in order to hit that wallbang. And after you're comfortable enough hitting the wallbang, you can then toggle the helper off and still continue to try and hit it. After you've memorized the exact position that you should be aiming at, which I believe should be around there, you can move a little bit away from it and then move back into it and try and actually hit it without any kind of helper or assistance. That's the way I would play this map, and I think that's the best method to learn all of these wallbangs. And I don't think a lot of you will have known about some of these. So let's press 7 and go to our next lineup. Here is a fairly standard one from the lobby area through the hut into main. Here's another fairly standard one. You have someone creeping behind the vent here, lurking, and this basically shows you exactly where you need to aim. Let's toggle the helper off, and then try and hit this wallbang a few more times without the helper on. And then the learning technique, we need to walk around and come back to the spot where we think it is, and then aim in about the place we think it is, and hopefully we can still hit that wallbang. There we go. And if we do that a few times, that should be a little bit more solidified into our brain. Obviously, we can choose whatever weapon we want to try and attempt these wallbangs with. Let's try this with the orc. Is this the spot? Yeah, that's it. Let's go to our next lineup. Okay, this one's warehouse all the way into the lobby. So we shoot through the vent and we hit someone all the way at the back of lobby here, which is a pretty sick wallbang. I think the hardest thing is trying to remember the exact positions that you need to be in, not necessarily where to shoot. Let's go to our next lineup, which is okay on the corner of this second square metal thing, and then through the main garage door. Let's toggle off the helper and see if we can still get into position and hit it. This is actually the hard bit right here. Ooh, see? How far off was I? Oh, actually, I was pretty close. I was pretty close. But to help you out, it's probably best that you maybe use some other parts of the map as reference. So I would use this as reference, and I know it's above this and around there. There we go. Let's go to our next lineup. Fairly standard one yet again. The guy hiding behind the box here. I love this whole concept and idea because it just gets you very used to hitting people in certain positions and trying to memorize those positions. Here's our next wallbang, which is down into main, and this will get the guy standing right in the corner of main, waiting for you to come round, which is a fairly common position. Toggle off the helper and see if we can hit it without it. I think it's around this really thin part. There we go. Next lineup. Okay, this is an interesting one. Straight through the wall into the guy peeking this little gap outside. I'm going to restart the lineup just to make sure I've got the right... Okay, yeah, so when you glitch into it, it's kind of like the flat part here. So that's the position I need to be in. And then there's a little tiny shiny bit right here, and it's slightly above it. So I think this one's going to be pretty hard to do without the guide, but we'll try it. Okay, get into the position around here. Little shiny bit slightly above it. Ooh, how far off am I? Let's turn the helper on and find out. Actually, quite far off. I think this one's a pretty hard and precise one to do. Let's try this straight through the outside box. Okay, we're on the corner of this outside blue box. And then we're standing up. And it is above the logo to the left. Okay, let's try it without the helper. On the corner, above the logo to the left. Okay, I think I might need to memorize this a little bit more and get it more precise. Some of these, especially if it's outside and a really long distance, you have to be very precise on. Oh, you gotta love this one. From CT spawn all the way down into lower. I think this is probably like the weakest part. There we go. I do believe this wallbang and some of the wallbangs require the victim of the wallbangs to already be a little tagged and not be on 100 HP. I think this bit is way too thick to shoot through. I think it's this lower bit you got to shoot through. And how many shots with an AWP does it take from full health? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 shots from full health. If anyone hits this wallbang, it is absolutely insane, to be honest. And this is a fairly standard plant spot as well for the terrorists. So if you find yourself as a counter-terrorist out here with an AWP, you may just be able to randomly hit this thing. Here is from upper down into lower. We have to find exactly the right spot. I think it's right here. I think it's between these little textures, making this the weakest part. But how many shots are required? Looks like another 3 shots are required from full health. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And this would get a terrorist planting in this spot, which is also quite a common plant spot. Moving on to the next lineup, we can get someone who is pushing the ramp. And this is a 1 shot. That's all you need for it. So we're stood here on the actual caution side of things. And there we go. It's that simple. Just wallbang through this wall. And this will get a counter-terrorist pushing or even peeking this little angle. Next lineup, from lobby straight through the wall for any counter-terrorist who may be camping in this room waiting for you to come round. And I think this one's relatively easy because we just line ourselves up with this and then it is the T. So if we turn this off, I think it's an easy one to recreate. We just go on here, aim at the T. There we go. Some are definitely easier to remember than others. This one, into hut, from standing next to the vent. We got another lineup here, which is next to the red, which is quite similar to the one where we were standing back there. And that is all the lineups for Nuke. So now you guys kind of understand the concept. You know how it works. Let's exit the lineup and then let's go back to the hub show you a new map. To make this not too much of a crazy long video, I'm not going to talk too much through the rest of these wallbangs. What I am going to do to help you guys out is timestamp every single map in this video, and then you'll be able to skip to the map that you're interested in and then just see what kind of wallbangs we've cooked up for you. That's it for Mirage. Some crazy cross-map wallbangs in there, which are definitely some of my favourite. Angles like that into Underpass. I think this one has to be my all-time favourite. You never ever see anybody hit this one all the way into Alps. Anubis. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand for you, for you, for you. This has got to be my favourite one, I think, on Anubis. Super unusual. Boom. Into middle doors. And it's quite an easy lineup as well, considering the shadows meet at basically the exact point that you want to be wallbanging.
Black go for your love. I'm a black go for your love. I'm the type that licks her play clean. Wanna like I wanna you.
I think this one is pretty uncommon. Some of these wallbang spots you need to find the specific area that you can actually shoot through. I do think you can shoot through this, but since we're hitting the foot, that is going to be doing just absolutely minimal damage. I think the weakest area is probably that little seam right there, and that will do the damage hitting in the middle of the body instead of the foot. On to Dust 2. You got your classic behind long doors wallbang. I'll be surprised if the majority of you don't know this one. I think this is a super useful one to learn, seeing as you can shoot anyone peeking down mid from the terrorists and take them completely by surprise. But this one is the other side of the door, so if you decide that you don't want to cross. This is wallbang I tend to hit a lot. Someone lurking behind the mid doors, just waiting to get wallbang. Slightly less common one this time. Opponent waiting around the B box area, peeking just on the corner of it, take them completely by surprise, and boom. Another maybe not so common one, guy hiding behind the box on site, extremely wallbangable. This time more into the sight area. I'm guessing a spam with an AK might be the most appropriate for this one. I think we need to add another wallbang onto this one, the lower onto short here. That's a classic. We don't seem to have it in the map, so we'll add it. Moving on to Inferno. This is obviously a classic. Wallbanging at the guy waiting behind the car here, top of banana. Then we got this slightly rarer wallbang straight through the wall, the middle of the B, the guy peeking the corner on banana. I don't see that many people wallbang this one very often, but you definitely can. And you can get it from multiple angles. Terrorists pushing B will not know what hit them. Of course, it works the other way round. CT's hiding on this coffin area. They can get wallbanged just as easily. Here's a little generator to cubby wallbang. And I'm not entirely sure what this spot is called, to be fair, but you can wallbang this one just as easily. From library here all the way down into pit. Someone crouching and hiding. They're gonna get wallbanged. And this one I've seen before in a couple of pro matches, still super rare one. Someone boosted up on this area. It's gonna take quite a lot of hits with the AK to get through, but only one single shot with the AWP. Depending on the level you're playing at, it's quite rare that someone would probably be boosted here. Another cross mapper, standing on the plant pot, aiming all the way through here, and boom, end of apps gets absolutely destroyed right there on the bottom side of the cross. I think I've only ever seen this one in a pro match hit once, but amazing wallbang. Another pretty rare one. Someone lurking up here on the angle, maybe waiting to ninja defuse you or something. They ain't ninja defusing anything if you get on this barrel. Also works from this angle, under porch, probably only hittable with the AWP. Another end of apps wallbang here, then back through the red door. If you're a terrorist and you think someone's peeking the end of this, the CTs definitely won't know what hit them. Oh, this is a nice one. Someone peeking the pit on this angle will get absolutely demolished through the wall with this wallbang. And also, someone peeking the van on this angle would also get demolished. Moving on to Overpass. Currently not in the competitive pool, however, it is a competitive map, so we got to cover it. Moving on to Train. Vertigo. And that is all the maps that we currently have in rotation. So I hope you guys check the map out, and I hope you guys enjoy it and learn some cool wallbangs, and maybe you're able to pull one or two off in your competitive games for an absolutely legendary moment. We're planning on keeping this map as up to date as possible, so if maps are updated and wallbangs are no longer possible, we'll remove them, and with your help we would love to add a bunch more sick ones. And we actually have the ability to do this already. On the map page, you can submit your own wallbangs right here. And this will present you with a form you have to fill out, which is pretty simple and basic. But if you don't know how to do things like get your exact position, one of the map's creators has actually made a 2-minute tutorial, nice and simple and fast and easy, and that will also be on the map page for you to view. So if you've got any amazing wallbangs and you want to submit them and see them in the Wallbang Hub map, then please do it, because we're always looking for sick new wallbang spots and we want to keep this map as fresh and up to date as possible. I want to give a huge shout out to Deanna and Alco for working with me on this whole concept. I came with the idea and maybe a few of the spots, and they put in all the hard work. So I'm eternally grateful to both of you. Thank you so much for bringing this dream to life. Remember, if you like their hard work as much as I do, to give it a little thumbs up. I think I'll do a video shortly where I try and get a few of these wallbangs in Premiere games. Even if I just hit one of these, I'm gonna be happy. And if you manage to hit any of them as well, please leave the link to that video down below, because I would absolutely love to see the community hit some of these and create those magical movie frag moments. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the map. Let me know what you think of it down below in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take it easy, guys.